Well, if you haven't caught our Irish video on Ireland, basically they're putting together. Well, actually, they're not putting it together. They're copying an age verification law that was put out here in the states. And I said it once, and I'll say it again. This is all they're doing is cut and pasting these laws. There's one person created this, and it had to be someone from NOSC, which is Morality Media, or one of these other radical groups that are trying to impose censorship throughout the internet and throughout the world. Because it's not going to stop with the internet. It's never going to stop with the internet. They're going after everything possible to take away your rights. The only reason why it hasn't really worked out too well is because of the Constitution in the United States. SCOTUS is going to be hearing this in the fall. About October? They're going to be hearing this lawsuit, which brought upon from the Free Speech Coalition, the also many other groups that are fighting to stop these laws. Some of them have been stopped. Some of them have been activated. We know at the beginning of July, we had several of them, and Pornhub has shut up or geo-locked those particular states. But the thing about it is they're cheering and saying, oh, we've won. No.
Also, kids, it's called a VPN.
It's called a VPN. Yes, that's right. VPNs are being used more than ever now because you can't trust some of these states and some of these countries when it comes to it. So we're going to switch gears to Spain. And we knew this was happening because there is a major battle with sex workers, and, the internet age verification that's been going on for quite some time over in Spain. We've covered it. The changes. I mean, some of the courts have sided against these rules to go into place because that basically it violates their own laws itself. But let's read this off of XBiz, another great article from Gustav Turner. Spain's technology minister unveils soon-to-be mandatory age verification app. Spain anti-sex work and anti-porn socialist party. They they actually did make a party that's anti-porn. Government led by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has unveiled a new age verification app that will become mandatory for accessing adult content in the country starting in September. The Cartera digital app and its age verification protocols, which are not currently functional, announced earlier this week by Spain's Minister of Digital Transformation and Civil Service, José Luis Belmont. According to Belmont, Cartera Digital is currently in development and is in its beta testing stage, Spain's ABC newspaper reported. Once it's up and running, Cartel Digital will issue any anonymous digital access credentials allowing any adult with Spanish national ID to enter digital spaces with content deemed inappropriate for younger users, so long as they're willing to share their information with the government, ABC reported. VPN. Since the app uses Spain's national ID documents to verify age, it is unclear whether or how foreign nationals living, working, or visiting Spain will be able to access content deemed by the government as pornographic. Remember that. If you're a businessman or woman, if you're doing business in Spain, are you going to give up your ID? How are you going to get access on there if you're a tourist? Think about that. Belmonte described the existence of adult content as a problem and noted if we all don't collaborate, the problem is impossible to solve. It's not a problem. So they call it a problem because you don't like adult content. You don't have to watch it. That's the thing. How's it say?
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play. How about a nice game of Just
Here's the situation. You don't have to go after these companies. You don't have to shut down the internet. We are adults. We're able to handle our children. We're able to, this is what we have to do. You're taking away the rights of peoples. So basically, so you could say, we're saving the children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
He also specified by he meant the adult platforms and sites which he hopes comply with the still in progress Cartera Digital. He spent the part of his presentation justifying the mandatory app, alleging that it is needed because the great majority of young people between 18 and 26 years old consider these contents are accurately to real sexuality. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's read that again. Alleging that it is needed because the great majority of young people between 18 and 26 years old consider these contents are accurately to real sexuality. You're not protecting. See, they're not talking about little kids. They're talking about adults.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Adults. These are people of age. These are the little things that sneak out that you have to catch. See, they don't care about the kids. They don't. They just want to censor the internet. Belmont also blamed adult content for a supposed increase in sexual assaults by minors, which has been reported by the local press in a variety of sex panic features. There is no, I'm going to tell you this straight out, there is no evidence to that nature. There's been a lot of research done, and that is one of the misconceptions that pornography causes violence. An individual himself, herself, we've heard this many times before. There are mental issues that go on there, and it can be caused by anything. We go back to the 1990s when they sued a music group because two young men decided to take their own lives. And the group was found not guilty because their music had nothing to do with it. Continuing on, veteran Spanish producer and performer Pablo Ferrari, who's also developed the local Lover Fans and Dark Fans premium fan platforms, told XBiz that the Sanchez government makes up the rules without knowing what they're ruling about, ignoring experts and industry stakeholders. And that goes the same way in the United States. It wouldn't be reasonable for them to research on how the adult industry works, would be the known pluses or minuses of a measure before venturing into something that they don't understand and cannot even fathom, from which negative consequences may result, Ferrari said, adding that he and other producers only want paid customers and would be at the forefront of any serious, reasonable attempt to restrict their content to adults. See, and the thing about it is, besides companies like Pornhub, Xvideo, and all that have free content, there are many others that are paid content. In other words, people pay. They want to shut them down as well. So that's the thing. Do kids have access to it? And, if they have their own credit card to that situation, but you don't hear about that. So let's continue on. The people mostly affected by the government's misguided idea will be adults who want to watch adult entertainment, he said. Minors will quickly figure out a way to get around it through VPNs, as I said before, and other methods. My customers who are in their 40s and 50s are not as tech savvy as the young users, so in the end result of his mandating this intrusive act will be the opposite of what the government claims to want. Escovedo told the press that while the Spanish government is hoping international adult sites and major social media and search companies such as Meta, Google, and X will get on board initially, the law will be only applied to Spanish-based adult businesses. There's a little bit more to this. Do check it out. It goes into the politics of the situation in Spain. We've discussed it before, so we're not going to go over it again. But all in all, like I said before, and then like the article says, these people don't know what they're doing. They don't know, the people that are putting these laws into effect, they're not realizing what they're doing. They're allowing these new Puritans, and I've said this before, and it's in that book, this is the new Puritans to take control. This is similar to what happens in the Mideast. You have the Muslim clerics that dictate what is law and what is not, what can be seen, what cannot be seen, what women can wear, not wear. You can't be homosexual, you can't be this, that, and the other thing. That's where we headed for. That's what we were truly headed for. People don't realize that. You've seen this in many movies before on their Equilibrium. We can go down to where 1984. We can go down the list. V for Vendetta. But you hear these situations and you think they're fictional, but it does go on throughout the world on a daily basis. It's just that now it's getting into our end of the world. And it's people that are the Americans and British citizens that are pushing it around the world. We talked about the head of the censorship board in Australia. She's an ex-American. She used to work for Twitter at one time. Most of these groups understand what they're doing and the dangers that are coming to be. That's why I said when you go to the voters booth as Americans, when you go to the voter booth, and also if you're in Spain, if you're in France, which France is going through a lot of situations there as well with what has been going on recently. Don't listen to the dangers. They say, well, the far right, they're being real dangerous to the situation. They're going to take away your abortion rights. They're going to do this, that, and the other thing. Listen to what it is. It is a little bit on both sides. I'll admit to that. But when you hear that there are those, and they're not part of the GOP, they're not part of the Democratic Party, but they've embedded themselves in our parties to take away our rights. Look at the last 10 years on what has been going on here in the U.S. and what's been going on overseas. People didn't care, as far as, what was on the internet at one point. They didn't care what was on cable TV. Because we've had this fight before. We've had these fights. These are the same fights that we have every decade or so. 1990s, we had the video game, the guidelines they want to put for video games. They want to put ratings on video games. They want to put ratings on music. They do violence on television, violence in the movies. This is what it caused against children and stuff like that. But there's no coalition to that. The research has been done. Yes, there's violence in the world. But see, people choose what they're going to do in life. They don't want to take They want people to take responsibility for the crimes that they do. They say, "Oh, the society is to blame to the situation. Oh, it's the television show or the anime Death Note, that caused the kid to take his own life, or the music from Iron Maiden that took that caused people to do what they wanted to do, or this other group and on that." I say it's a hock of bullshit. It's a hock of bullshit to the situation. Because these people, they just don't understand. They don't understand. They think that they're helping people. They're not helping people. They're keeping themselves in power. That's what it is. It's all a power. That power is just a myth. These people are they say, well, but they don't realize is that, if you go through history, things change very either simply by the voters' booth or by revolution. And the thing about it is, the people that are out now these days, they've been very peaceful. They've allowed things to go by. But there's going to be a point where you're going to hit a breaking point, and God forbid us now. God forbid that this happens. You know, I am not condoning any of this at all. But understand that there are breaking points with people, and people are getting tired of these age verifications and stuff like that. They say, well, we got to get control of the internet. Well, you know, there was nothing wrong with the internet. There was nothing wrong with television. There was nothing wrong with radio. Every time a new technology comes out, something that, you know, that they consider it a threat. And especially when it's in an election year. You know, they ramp it up right as a year before an election, they ramp up. Look at how many age verification laws have come out in the last 6 months. Think about that for a minute, just in the U.S. alone. Think about all the things that people have been pushing to say, oh, we need to help this. And let me tell you something. Most of that, with the exception of age verification and the censorship of the internet, most of that other stuff will disappear after the elections. They don't care about you. They don't care about all. And once again, I said, pay attention who you vote for in November. This is very important. You know, if you have to vote for someone that you don't like, but is going to give you what you need, then maybe you might want to vote for them. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. You know, you make that decision yourself. That is on your conscience. And I'm going to tell you that, you know, think. Because I know that a lot of people are angry with particular politicians and stuff like that. You know, particular ex-president, and they like saying, oh, he's evil and stuff like that. Think about what's been going on the last 4 years. Think about what we've been through. Look at the prices of a gallon of gas. Look at the prices of your groceries. How much more in taxes are you paying? Look what is happening to the crime on your streets on there. Look at what is all that's going on. Put it all together and then say, you know, I'm okay with the current administration. So comment, like, share this video. Hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Do stay tuned for the little message at the end. It's very important on there. We do look for your support. Hopefully, you know, for those of you who can give, hopefully you'll be able to, you know, even a cup of coffee. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are 2 ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.